Alright, so here's something I want to start doing too, is taking a little bit of a longer look out at some of these systems. There's been a lot of chatter about the one on Sunday because some dumb apps on people's phones are saying 12 to 18 inches or something. So I do want to point out for Michigan here what we can expect. This is the European model run for potential snowfall into Sunday and maybe a little bit into Monday as well. But notice how that purple swath just kind of grazes Detroit and Monroe County. That's indicating the possibility for 6 inches or more. But I can break it down a little bit more for you here because there are some things we should know about what the storm's been doing in terms of how it's trending in the models. Notice as I go back in some model runs here, it actually starts to go a little further down to the south, like this one right here. So since yesterday, we have seen a pretty big jog off to the north. Now that's not to say that it's done moving at all. It means that it's still shifting around. This is how it looks like right now in a snapshot. It could still go further north. It could go back down to the south. We'll just have to see how things go. But let's take a look at a couple different models as well. Now, this is the Canadian model, which does handle extreme cold and snow pretty well, obviously being the Canadian model. So notice it's got that a little further off to the north in Michigan, right? Maybe even north of 94 in some cases. But if I go back a couple of runs here to yesterday, we also have that pretty big jog off to the north for it as well. Now, I can take a look at just a couple more. This is the AI enhanced European model. Now this is a little bit different and a little bit hard to read if you're not a meteorologist because the snow ratio here is a little bit off. This is assuming that 10 inches of snow is melted down into 1 inch of water. More like 20, if not 25 inches melts down into 1 inch of water is what we're realistically going to see. So whatever this model says, times it by 2, maybe even 2.5, that would put us right at about that 6-inch mark in southeast Michigan. And again, this is the AI, and the reason I want to show you the Euro AI enhanced model is because it does have a pretty good track record. But even this one, if I go back to yesterday, it was much further down to the south. So we are seeing a for sure shift off to the north, and that's something that we should be keeping a pretty close eye on. Now, same thing with the Euro ensembles, and the ensembles are great. It's like 51 different little models averaged together, except it also has that snow ratio problem. So instead of 10 to 1, again, it's going to be more like 20 inches of snow melts down into 1 inch of rain. So we can take this, also times it by about 2, if not a little bit more. That would also put us around in the 6-inch mark for southeast Michigan as well. But I also want to compare this to what I did yesterday. So taking a look at today's run and yesterday's run, we do have a little bit of a difference there. Not a huge difference this time, but definitely a little bit of a northward shift in these models as well. Now, either way, this is going to be a massive storm system with huge, huge impacts across a massive portion of the country. Look at this thing. As it starts to come out into the south, that pink is heavy, freezing rain. We're talking all out ice storm conditions down there. We're going to have just a lot of snow coming in for a huge part of the country as well. So we have snow, ice from Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, through the deep south all the way into the northeast, including parts of Michigan. So that's going to cause massive problems. Even if we don't have anything worthy of canceling flights here or, delaying your mail, your packages, things like that, it sure will down to the south. This is going to be a storm that has trickle-down effects for a while. Then the extreme cold sets in, and that's going to be making headlines of its own. So we have a very active weather pattern coming our way over the next several days.